Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Live from Tom's River, Lakewood, New Jersey. It's unbelievable. People live like Yishma. This property right over. I'm not saying everybody in Lakewood lives like this, but this property happens to be that this is my wife's best friend, and my wife is with me. We came to be Menachem Oval, Mark Ashkenazi, and she came for a chasana. And she said, let's go. We got to go to this house over here. She's getting ready. Come to this place. I come here. It's mom is beautiful. Very nice spot from it. Shkoyach. We have some very, very choshev guests with us. I don't know if do we want Ilum Shem here or no? Our nerves is not Ilum Shem. And we have a bar mitzvah bacher. What's your name, bar mitzvah bacher? Avrami. I'm going to turn the camera, so you're all going to be in it anyway. You ready? With the Ilum Shem and without a Ilum Shem. Hold on. We got Avrami. Avrami, wave your hands for a second. Boy bayoim bar mitzvah. Unbelievable. Now, I don't know if it's going to go all the way around to the... Oh, you see a little bit of the pool over there. That might be enough for today. Geshmak. We're coming back around. What a matzav. All right. So... Kobe, our Hebrew editor, his son had a chalaka today, but they had a siyum. And the mother made a beautiful siyum cake, shalom aleichem, kumtzarayin. The oil's starting to come. What's your names?
Ari Rosen.
Ari Rosen, shalom aleichem. What's your name?
Yosef Kron.
Hey, yeah, of course I know you. Yeah, shalom aleichem. What else do we have here? Oh, and then we have the good morning Rabbi from his kids. Yivaldik. Rabbi said, this is something that Reb Chaim, I'm making you in charge here in Lakewood. I'm not joking around there. The two of you together. We have 15 locations in Eretz Yisrael, 1-5. You hear what I'm telling you? This is an average location in Eretz Yisrael on an average night, just started less than a month ago in Neve Yaakov. There's no reason why this can't be around the world. Look at this. The island's mamish into it. This is not even me. This is my chavrusa giving the share today. This is today. I was in a taxi. I called him up. I said, listen, I'm not going to make it. So, Baruch Hashem, he stepped in. I have to give my cards a toiv, even in the English here, because it's not easy for him. I didn't realize that it's not easy for him. He doesn't prepare. He's not going to prepare for the share. He just opens up and reads, and he's a goy in oilam. But for him to sit in front of a camera and this and that, it's difficult for him. And he does it without any... I never knew that it's hard for him until I went some shmuz with him. I thought it's like, yeah. He doesn't complain. He doesn't say anything. This is in Neve Yaakov. 3 of our guys from the Bismedrish. The guy second from right is from Neve Yaakov, but the rest they're going during Ben Azmanim. They're going from location to location. They went to Tveria. They went to Bnei Brak. There. It's unbelievable. I'm serious. Think about it. I'm going to say it again. This could be huge in yeshivas, certain yeshivas that the bachrim, at night. They're not about night seder. This is a gevaldige thing. It's a fun way to learn Torah. In a shul somewhere at night seder, the doilim can get together, do the daf. Could be the thing of the future. So you know about Moshe Cohen, right? In Bnei Brak. Rented a place, what else do we have? Masechet sponsor. So because I need to catch a flight, in how many more minutes do I have to leave?
36.
In 36 minutes I have to leave. So Mela, we're going to cut out all the jokes, but we're going to say some stories. No. We cut out everything. Masechet sponsored by David Solomon, dedicated memory of Avi Meir Shalom Baruch Bereb Chaim Tzvi Doiv. Let me just tell you really a quick hakdama what happened. I was in Utah yesterday. It's like a 3-something hour flight to Chicago. There was a massive storm in Chicago, so they said the flight is delayed by half hour. Of course, the half hour comes and goes, and it's another delay. Kids, sir, we get on the plane. By the time we got to Chicago, it's 1 a.m. But my son, we didn't eat a thing the whole day. So I had to go get some food, whatever. I went to sleep at 4. My cheshbon was that if I go to sleep at 4, I'll be able to get up at 5 o'clock exactly. I'll sleep for 1 hour, and I'll be able to catch my 7 o'clock flight to New York. But that didn't happen. I did not hear my alarm. That's how exhausted I was. But at 6 o'clock, I did get up. So I switched my flight real quick, got on the next flight, and this is where I am. This is how I prepare cheer. Verstehst? Okay, so if you understand, you understand. The second sponsored by Anonymous. Hatzlacha Baruchim Subigash is Chus Acheru B'nei Yisrael. Anonymous. Merit learning be a shield of protection and source of unity and blessing for Am Yisrael. Tremendous thing. I said it. I didn't even chap. A guy donated yesterday $17,500 worth of Gemaras. That's unbelievable. Bilum Shem. Joe, I said 500 Gemaras, but it turns out 17. I guess I don't know what the cheshbon is. $17,500. Lili Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. Monthly sponsors TCS Israel Power by Talking Tape. Anonymous, Rafur Shlema Sarah Bat Modaram and Shira Bat Sarah. Weekly sponsors Dr. Avram Epstein and his wife Rivka, Rafur Shlema for Shoshana Bas Razel. Innovations LC, Lili Nishmas, Reb Chaim Ben Reb Elazar. We hope you and your family have a Nechama, Eli, Chaya, Kalma, Strom Tila. Keep it Nuzbam, Rafur Shlema Yitzchok Meir Ben Perel, Yitzi Hollander, in honor of our new granddaughter, Yakira, Mazel Tov, one of the chevra that went with us on the safari. Tremendous part of the daf, Yishur Koyach, Mazel Tov. Daily sponsors, Anonymous, in memory of Binyamin Ben Avraham, Abraham. The campers and staff, in honor of Reb Eli Gluck for giving the kids at Camp Aguda the Midwest a great summer. Shir and Koilel, Shup family, Lilu Nishmas, Eliezer Arya Ben Shmuel Tzvi. What, you had shaykhs to this thing? See you pulling out your phone, recording. Givaldik, thank you. MDYR monthly. So you'll notice, starting from today, we have an upgrade in our AI division. We hired more people. That's all we do, is we hire more people. People ask, how does the Daf Yomi shir spend $2 million a year? So if we were spending $2 million a year, we just added 2 more salaries this week in the AI department. And you'll see some of the pay raise today, and it's just going to get better. They're in whatever. Well, one of them is not even giving us stuff yet. One of them is starting already. What a day today, mamish. It's not hot, not cold. It's like unbelievable. Wow. It's not every day like this in Lakewood.
Oh, you hit the jackpot.
I hit the jackpot.
Today, tomorrow talk.
Wow. Okay, Rabbi Isai. So we have 30 minutes to do the whole daf. The Bei Rebbe Yanai, we had on the bottom of Amud Beis, a tremendous Ma'aseh Chesed. I spoke about Mark Ashkenazi, and I'm going to speak about him again because I was there and they just spoke about all the Chesed the father does and the mother did and this and that. And now I have where this Mark Ashkenazi comes from. They said, Ma'aseh, there were 10, a family of 10, knock on their door, or not knock on the door, they're looking around. The father sees them park in what is it, where do the Yekis live? Washington Heights. What are you doing here? We're on the way to Muncie. We can't make it to Muncie before Yontif. So what are you doing? We don't have where to go. Come to us. 10 people for this Darim. 10 people. But they said every Shabbos, people from YU, and the kids are just chesed. So the Bei Rebbe Yani doing chesed. What's their chesed? They see a bunch of poor people that have a lot of perish shmita, which very soon you have to burn. And there's nothing you can do with it. Zero. So we'll take it from you today. We'll pretend we're borrowing it from you, and we'll pay you back tomorrow on Shemitah. Says Rabbi Yochanan, that's 100% kosher. Why? Because I'll prove it to you from Zaina, from Esnan Zaina. What's the case over there? The case is that a person was over with a Zaina, and he paid her afterwards. That animal that he pays her with is permitted to go on the Mizbeach. Step 1 is a maisa. Step 2, he gave her the animal. That's kosher. The animal's kosher. So over here also, step 1, there was a isser of shmita. Step 2, there was a payment afterwards. The payment and the maisa are not connected. You could use that money. You could be paid on the 8th year for the shmita fruit. So now we're holding on the last line of Amud Beis. We're going to just pick up a little bit of speed, a little bit more than usual. So if you typically watch the shear on 2 speed, put it down on 0.5, not 1 point, 0.5. What happens in this case? First, he gives her a sheep. And then they do a Maisa Isser. Ask the Gemara, so Rebbe Yochanan said in both cases, it doesn't matter if he pays her before, he pays her after, it's all mutter. It comes out from Rebbe Yochanan, the only time Esnan Zayin is also is if he pays her b'shas Maisa. So ask the Gemara, I don't understand. Why did he give her a sheep? He gave her a sheep because he wanted to be Mizana. So later on, when this nus takes place, then retroactively this sheep should become aser. Amar Rebbe Lazar, we're going here in the whole sugya. Rebbe Lazar says over here in the Goyis Siyunim, Tzarch Lemer Lazar, Bekala Amud. So, Kishakadma Bekrivatu. By the way, this is your gift that you gave me, Baron, and I used it today on the plane. I got Baruch Hashem. I didn't realize it was from people on my flight. I'm in Chicago. Who's going to fly? So a bunch of guys got onto the plane, and they saw me learning, but not in the article part. Punkt happened to be on the Gemara part. I got caught. It could have been a Bizayin. Mamash could have been a Bizayin. Okay. Nasan lavachach ba'aleh l'chiba aleh lechal aleh iser esnan l'mafreya. What happened was, it's one of the best gifts ever. Seriously, I use this every single day on my treadmill. It's to put a Gemara like this and to open up. I bought a little thing. Your gift. Gemara the gift. Huh? We'll have to do a thing. A chalibin. So says the Gemara. What happened was, right after she got it, step 2. You see what happened there? Step 1 is she got a gift. She got a sheep. Step 2 is she put it on the mizbeach. Anything wrong here? Nothing wrong. At the time she put it on the mizbeach, there's no isser. This is what happened. Later, step 3, there was an isser. Okay, it's too late. The animal's already shechted. No, so what's the chiddush? The animal's already shechted. So what do you tell me? It's okay. The answer is, of course it's okay, but she gets credit for it. She was Mechal Shabbos by mistake. She had to bring a chatos, so she brings a chatos. Now, after she brought the chatos, she did znus, and I would think that maybe I should take away the credit for the chatos. Maybe she has to bring another chatos, because retroactively we find out that she got the whole reason why she had a sheep in the first place was because the guy paid her for znus. No, okay, so that's fine. Ask the Gemara, but wait a minute. How is she bringing a carbon chatos with somebody else's animal? If it's her animal, gevaldik. But if it's not her animal, you can't bring your neighbor's animal as a carbon. What's the case? If he said specifically, I want you to make a kinyan in this animal, pshita, of course the shari, of course it's a good animal. It's hers. It was hers, and there was no maisa isser yet, so it's okay. He gave her a gift. And if he didn't say those words, if he didn't say it should be yours right away, how could you bring Pliny's animal as a carbon? Vishki Akdish is basic kodesh Omer Rachmana. My basic rishus is just like your house is in your possession. I've called rishus. Kitzer has to be in your rishus, and it's not in your rishus. So if he said it's yours, there's no chiddush. If he didn't say it's yours, then how could you bring it? Elo the Omer law. We have to say lehevi gabich atshaz bia. No, you know what? Let it be there until there's an isser. If you want it, then it's yours ma'achshav. So that's the chiddush, because now he mixed in the lashon bia with ma'achshav. So on the one hand, it's a terrible animal. How could you bring such an animal to the Rebbeinu Shleilim? A guy says, this is your animal if there's a znus. He used the word znus even. But at the same time he said, but if you want it, it could be yours even before the znus. Okay, I think it's no good. Kamashmal, it's okay. It's a good carbon. What if she didn't bring it like this picture over here? She didn't bring it as a carbon. What did she bring it as? She brought it as a hegdish. Higdishatu. Meaning, it's not a carbon yet. She said, this animal is going to be a carbon. So she made it kaddish. But she didn't bring it on the mizbeach. Then, after that, step 3, look what happens. Now there's an isser. Before she brought it onto the mizbeach. So what's the shaila? Now that we already know that there's an isser done here, and now we know why she got this carbon in the first place, so maybe she shouldn't bring it on the mizbeach. It's not befitting for a mizbeach, such a thing. We know the famous concept. When you say a word, you say, I'm going to give money to the Beis HaMikdash, it's literal. It's like you gave it already to the Beis HaMikdash. So I would say that just since she said this is designated as a carbon, even though she didn't put it on the Mizbeach, is designated. Rabbi Isai, I saw even today, but I didn't have a lot of time to go through it. The halachas of when a person says, I am going to give my shul X amount of money, it's very serious. We know it's serious. It's like a neder, and it's amiras legavaya. They go into it. Obviously, it's not as strong as saying to the Beis Hamikdash, but there's a certain thing. That's why some people are careful not to say it, because if you forget, if you're not a forgetful person, gewaldig, maybe you should, or force you. But yeah, then the whole question is, what about in machshava? So it happens sometimes. A guy comes to the shul and he's collecting, and he says, okay, when he comes, I'll give him a buck. Then all of a sudden he disappears. Now what? Certain things that happen in your amiras legavaya, machshava legavaya, machshava to give a tzedakah. A person, a lot of times people get, they're inspired by something. Oh, I'm going to give. Yeah, I'm going to give, and then they don't give. All those people that wanted, Pliny gave $17,000 worth of gemaras. I'm also going to give. You know what? Forget it. That's too late. You already thought it. Kemanda krifte domi. Oidilma hashtami koi v'isbeine. L'maisa tachlas. It's not. This carbon is not a carbon. This animal, it's going to be a carbon. It wasn't mugrav yet, and she did nothing in between. Maybe don't bring it. As the Gemara of Tivshot with the Rebbe Lazar, didn't Rebbe Lazar just have a case? Don't Rebbe Lazar should call me very crafty. Why did Rebbe Lazar use a lashon that it was a carbon? Just say that you were magdish it, the step before a carbon. Why do you have to go so far as to say that they actually killed this animal? It seems like dafke kirivatu, dafke because this animal is no longer alive, so that's why, okay, it's a good carbon. But if the animal is alive and well, and we know what this animal is all about, it was a payment for its nus, lie, don't bring it to the Beis Hamikdash. Says the Gemara, no, the Rebbe Lazar gufei kamebayle. Rebbe Lazar himself wasn't so sure. Mai, what's the halacha? Mifshep shitale. The Rebbe Lazar the kraftu dafka. Is it dafka when you bring it as a carbon? Avigdash loy. Dois b'shas bia. Or did kraftu pshitale? Avigdash demsapkele. We don't know. Rebbe Lazar himself wasn't sure. Is the difference between to be makrish the carbon or to be makrish the carbon? That goof is the shaila, and the Gemara remains with a teiku. Ba lev achkach nosan lo isnana mutar. If first there was a Maisa Isser, and then afterwards he gave her the carbon, the animal, I should say, so she's permitted to bring this animal to the Beis Hamikdash. Pelaploi. That's not what we thought up until now, until we learned in the Masechta. And in fact, it's probably not 100% right. Says the Gemara, it says even if the payment occurs 3 years after the Maisa, it's still Asur. So why are you telling me it's mutter? Right? So we have, well, we don't have to give away the answer. Here's the question. We have the two brises. It says, also lahakiv if you bring it later, 3 years later, and we're learning that you're allowed to give it after. Not that you're allowed to give it, but if you give it, Peldik thing, I forgot to say this in the Hebrew share also. Stop, I'm curious what you think. If a person promises a zayna, a sheep, and then they do a maisa, could she sue him in Bezdin for the sheep? I see your eyes are rolling. Yes or no? He says yes. How do you go to Bezdin? It's a good shaila. Exactly. How do you do the whole thing if you have busha? I don't want to say what I'm thinking. Anyway, no. What do you say? Could she sue him or not? I saw that she could sue him. Luckily, he has to pay her. It's a pellet to me. But okay, that's what I saw. What? Because they're reinforcing Isser.
You agree to this, so
you're reinforcing it. Could you go to Bezdin for Chametz on Pesach? Could you go to Bezdin for? I was hired to kill somebody and he doesn't want to pay me. What do you mean? Why not? It's also. Yeah. That she. Satka Mimeni, and he had to give her. No, but.
she gave him.
Yeah, but what do you see that you could? How do you see that you could sue for that? He promised. He gave her a mashkin. Actually, we're going to see that right over here. It's funny. I didn't think about it. That's mamish what the Gemara says. What you're saying now. For another reason, though. Omer Rav Nachman Yitzchak. Omer Rav Chizah loy kashya. Hodam is bali b'tle zeh. Hodam Allah his bali b'tle stam. Here's the answer. If a tle stam, the smoking tle, and tle zeh means this animal becomes esnan zoina. Because he points at this sheep. This sheep has no chance. This sheep, no matter what, even 3 years later, it's asur. So what if he points at the sheep? How does this sheep become hers by pointing at it? What happened to the Mashiach? So we have to do. I'm mamish looking at the screen now. The background is unbelievable. Wow. Should do share every day. Anyways, Mashiach, right? Kinyan Mashiach. That's one. That's this. This is the Shoshanag Sapara, I think. V'nimtza Urba B'tzida. Right. Okay. Now I got it. Before I didn't pay attention. So, in order for this sheep to become hers, she has to do a Mashiach, and obviously she didn't do a Mashiach. Says the Gemara, B'zoyna Goya. We're talking about a guy. The Lekayim Mashiach. So Yoshi did this. What's a guy kind of with? Oh, here's the Zoyna. I'm not involved. Okay, all pictures. I'm not connected to this today. Next. Oh, that's the terrace of the Gemara. But here, a guy is kind of be kesef. Says Yerushalmi Yid with a motorcycle. It's time for the. I don't think that ever happened. The Yerushalmi Yid that owned a motorcycle. Mamish Litzanas. Can't get it to go. How about if I do this? No. Oh. That's that. Kinyan Kesef. So says the Gemara, there's another Kinyan. B'zani Goya, the Lekayim M'shicha, she doesn't M'shicha. B'bai Seima, Lo'ilam B'zani Israelis. So it's interesting, yeah? That because there was a Maisa, she's kind of the Kinyan Kesef without M'shicha. B'bai Seima, Lo'ilam B'zani Israelis. We're talking about a Jewish Zaina. Ukegoy, the Koi B'chatzeira. We're talking about Kinyan Chatzer here. The animal happens to be in the Zaina's yard. So she's kind of like that. As the Gemara, if we're talking about that the animal is in her yard, Shalom Remoishe. It's all right. If we're talking about one of the cardinal sins, here, you can sit over here, sit next to me. It's fine. We're almost done. We only have 10 minutes left, right? What time is it now?
You have 18 minutes left.
18 minutes. Oh, we could slow down now from Amud Beis. Who needs more than 18 minutes for something? We're not even there, but okay, fine. Ask the Gemara. What happened? He put the animal in her chatzar. And then there was a maisa. And then he gave her the animal. But she acquired this animal when it was in her chatzar beforehand. I love what Yoshi did here for that poitiki. There's a new one. Check this out. Oops, I gave it away as usual. It's not working, my thing. No, because no, it worked before here. Apoi. Apoitiki is 3 words. It's a combination of 3 words. Apa, tehe, koi. Meaning, and that's what he said before. With Yehuda and Tamar. He said his name as he opened the door. Yehuda and Tamar. That what? He takes the stick and he says, listen, I'm gonna pay you cash. But if I don't, here you have my staff. That's a poitei koi. I'm giving you a sheep. Somebody has to take a picture over here. No? One of your kids maybe. Who could take a picture from? We need a picture from the whole. You don't want to be in the picture. No, maybe from over here. With the pool. Okay, yeah. Side, yeah, gewaldig. Apoite koi. Are you in the? Is he in the picture? Is okay. Huh? We don't need Goldstein. Gewaldig. So he gives her the sheep and says, "Listen, if I'm not going to pay you cash, you can take the sheep." So you have a combination of 2 things. First of all, it occurs afterwards, but it starts beforehand. So we have both things together. The Omer law, if I pay you later on, take this sheep with the esnan. Moser of Sheshes. What happens is as follows. We saw it a few times in Shas. I guess it was common then. People used to barter. You work for me, and I'll pay you with food. I don't have to pay you cash. What do you need? You need food? I'll get you food. How much? Go to the store and take food from the store. Now, there's two cases. One is I'm giving you cash to buy food. That's this case right over here. The guy in the middle is the employer, and he gives his two guys cash. This is our new guy. I like this. There's a skinny guy trying to pedal a bike with a gesunte, saftige guy, sweating, and they finally go and they buy yain nesach from a guy. Okay? Is that a problem for the employer? You hear the Shiloh? Employer gave him money, they bought in the restaurant. They went to McDonald's. Is that a problem? No. Why? I gave you the money, you do whatever you want to do with the money. It's not my problem. I know you're going to buy food, okay, but I don't have to be choishish. I don't have to worry about shmita. I don't have to worry that they're going to buy food that's not musar. Over here, you can give me the orders straight on. But we're going so fast, you're not even catch. I have to catch a flight soon. Yain nesach, by the way, forgot to mention the Hebrew. Yain nesach. Oh, shkoyach. Oh, everybody's dream come true. He said sponsors. Yain nesach is talking about that he has a non-Jewish worker, and he says, go buy the wine. It's a Shaila. Okay. Now, case number two. Case number one is I give you cash, you go buy whatever you want, I don't have to worry about it. But what if I say you go to the store, buy yain nesach, or buy whatever you want, and I'll pay the store owner. Now, they come back and they say, listen, we bought a bunch of yain nesach. I go and I pay the store owner. They go and they buy, more important for us, what's going on there? I hope he's not. Avremi, everything okay? Okay, good. No, I just see him doing stuff on my computer. It's weird stuff. Okay. Go to the restaurant and I'll pay. Go drink in a bar, do whatever you want, and I'm going to pay. That's the nekuda that we're looking for. This word right over here. We have to be concerned about Shemitah. Now let's go back. The Bei Rabbi Yanai Shalom Aleichem. The Bei Rabbi Yanai. Who are these tzaddikim? We know them? They're your kids? What's your names? What? What's the last name? Saffron. Shalom Aleichem. So, Shalom Aleichem to your father, whoever. So, Nachamal, let's start the sugya again. The Bei Rabbi Yanai, they did a tremendous chesed. They went to the poor people, they took their fruit from them on Shemitah and paid them back after Shemitah. Says Rabbi Yochanan, it's not a problem. The payment after Shemitah is not connected to the fruit that you took on Shemitah. Unless that you pay him on the spot, like by Esnan Zoyna. You have to pay her on the spot, then it's a problem. You pay her afterwards, not a problem. Over here we see that the guy's workers went and ate fruit. They ate Shemitah stuff. And the employer went and paid it 2 days later. And that's problematic, it says here. Vani Pereya, I'll pay later. It's a problem in Shemitah. You see that what is he paying back? He's paying back a Isser. Big problem. Says the Gemara, Tigimar of Chizdi, you know why it's a problem? I'll tell you why. It's different. This is a store. I talk about this all the time in Eretz Yisrael. They have the makolets, the system in Eretz Yisrael. It's a little different than here. You go in there, you pay on credit. You tell your kid in the morning, 2.5 years old, before his chalaka, go to the makolet. He runs down, crosses 3 streets, goes, brings a loaf of bread. You never saw this? It's crazy. They go, they bring bread, milk. The kid is not even 3 years old. I see this all the time. I'm not kidding. Under 3 years old, they're schlepping stuff. They bring home the loaf of bread. The guy doesn't care. He goes, put it on my cheshbon, number 18, shalom. Great. So says the Gemara, since there's a Chaminei Makifa, you know what? Before I say the pshat, I got to tell you the story because this just happened. I'm confused between the Hebrew and the English. I don't know if I said this in the Hebrew or the English, but I have to say it now. My uncle just told me, literally, I want to say it was like 2-3 weeks ago. I forgot when I saw him though. His name is Rav Shlomo Winter. He's a Magachir in Bnei Brak. And I said the story before, but he told me the second part of it. When my mother, Allah Shalom, would get really upset at me, she would punish me. And the kids let's just say I didn't get to eat that day. She'd kick me out of the house for a few hours. So I said, you know what? She's going to punish me. I'll punish her. So I went to the Makolet where they had a cheshbon, and I looked around. I said, what did I always dream of eating and I never got to eat? Oh, a bunch of barakas, ice cream. What else? What could a kid? A candy. Loaded it up and put it on the cheshbon. Shalom Yisrael. Punish me. Go ahead. Punish me again. Halavai. You should punish me more. Kitzer, that's what I said in the shir like a few months ago. My uncle didn't hear the shir. He tells me, you're not going to believe this. You remember there was a Makolet? Yeah. You remember the guy from? Yeah. The guy from Makola, I just bumped into him. He's in his 90s, barely walks. He said, that guy really is in his 90s. I'm thinking, yeah, this 40 years ago. And then he was, in his 50s. He says, the guy is very upset at your mother. He said, your mother once had a big fight with him. She said that she never bought Berekis. She never brought ice cream. She's not paying for it. What are you saying? And the guy said, but it's on your cheshbon. You have to pay. So my uncle told him, stop. I said, you must be kidding. You heard this shir. He says, no, I didn't. What are you talking about? He tells the guy in the Makola, he says, she had, her oldest son was a wild guy. He probably did it. You have to be moichel. So he says, my uncle said, he says, how much was it? 500 shekel? Let me pay you right now. You have to be moichel. She's not alive anymore. You have to be moichel. So he says, I'm moicheler, b'leiv shalom, you don't have to pay me. I'm moichel, b'leiv shalom. That's the end of the story. I just heard this now, 3 weeks ago. The guy's still alive. I better go back now. I better get... Yeah. Yeah. So that's chen b'nei makivoi. So what's the pshat of chen b'nei? Now that we know the story, what's the pshat? Pshat is they know each other, they rely on each other, and the Gemara says the mishtabed. It's very interesting that the employer's belongings, his real estate becomes meshubed. There's a lien on it because they know each other. They give the urchel akufei because they know, because this is the regulus. This is the norm that they buy with credit. It's not pshat that he's paying him a dinner a month later. When you steal that, when you take that berekis, the dinner becomes the owner of the makolos right away. You have nothing to worry about. What are you so worried about? You think that giving them bad ideas? No, these are good kids. I was also a good kid, just the shtickle with sugar.
You don't have a cheshbon for that reason.
Huh?
You don't have a cheshbon for that reason.
Yeah. We had a cheshbon for MDY, and we found out, people, you come and say, okay, here, 25 milks, put it on MDY. And then somebody hears, they hear, okay, Bisley on MDY, and then we chop that, Says Gemara at Tony, it's not a good system. You just have to say a name and Shalom Yisrael. Sorry. Now the Gemara is medayik. You just said it's because they know each other and they give each other credit, then it's problematic. It's kilu, the dinner went to him. And if you don't know each other and you don't give credit, then the dinner doesn't go to him. And if it doesn't go to him, then it's mutter. Because now I'm not paying, then I'm paying after Shemitah. I'm paying, it's like Esnan Zoyna afterwards. It's mutter. He asked the Gemara a very simple question. Let me just show it to you about Peh. I think it's super simple. On the top over here, we have the two cases that we spoke about on the bottom and the top of the Amud. Bottom of Samach Gimel Amud Aleph, top of Samach Gimel Amud Beis. What are the two cases? An employer tells his workers, here's money, go buy something. Or, go buy something and I'll pay for it. One case is mutter, one case is aser. Yeah, green is mutter, red is aser. As the Gemara, you just told me a case where there's a credit line. The credit line makes it aser. And the Gemara is medayik, if there's no credit, it's mutter. So just tell me the two cases, credit, not credit. Why do you have to tell me a case where I gave the worker money and he went and he bought stuff with it that's mutter, and if I didn't give him the money, then it's aser. Tell me the two cases of credit and not credit, and then I'll know everything. Says Rashi, sticks in a little knetcher, that in the case of that's mutter, I could also know the case of lechu ve'ichlu b'dinner zeh that's mutter. Because if in the case where the guy himself, the chenveni himself is involved, it's mutter, so certainly if he gives the money to somebody else to buy, and he's not involved, certainly in that case it should be mutter, fine. But Akoparim, the Gemara asks the classic question, why you tell me two cases? One is a case of, here's the money and go buy food, or I'll pay it later. Just say, this is the case, this is the machlekes. In one case, I have the same case in two different ways. It's a case of, because that's two different cases, right? Here's money and take it. What's the opposite of, I don't know if that's the opposite. It's a different case. I'm going and I'm going to pay the cheshbon or take cash. Over here we have within the same word. One is credit and non-credit. One is Eli Stefansky's mother, and one is Aaron Hirsch's kids. Yeah, it's two different cases. It's the same case. That's question number one. Question number two is even if there's no credit, if you go to any store and you buy something, you should have a shibud. Anytime you hear this, if you tell somebody, I want you to give somebody $100, and if you do that, I'll give you my car. What kind of kinyan is that? So if you think about it, it's a good riddle. Where's the kinyan? There's no mashicha. He told me that if I give him $100, he'll give me a car. So he told me. So what? There's no mashicha. There's no agba. There's no chalipin. So what is there? There's something new called. It's not new, but it's called arev. Within arev, I could say that if you don't pay the loan, I become an arev. I become a guarantor. So I could also say, listen, I'll give this guy money, and therefore you have to pay me. There's something called the kinyan arev. So Mimela what says Rava, there's no difference between if there's credit or not credit. In both cases, you're chayiv, you're meshubed, and if you're meshubed right away, then it becomes asur. It becomes part of shmita. I paid for shmita food on the spot. It's not afterwards. It was on the spot. I'm meshubed. In both cases, it's asur. Okay. You are miyached, you didn't say, I want to pay you with this, so there's no iser. So then what? What's the pshat over here? How come there's a problem when I tell my employees, go buy from a makolet food and I'll pay it? And if they buy things that are aser, I have an iser to pay it. If they buy shmita stuff that's, for whatever reason, the shmita stuff is aser, they can't buy it with money because the guy is making a business out of shmita, so they're not allowed to buy it. So what's my issue to pay off the chayv? The pshat is that the employer paid the makolet in advance. That also we have in Eretz Yisrael. Well, how many minutes? 2 minutes? That's not a problem. Then what? And sometimes makolet says, give me 1,000 shekel in advance, and then you open up a cheshbon. Great. So you already paid for this food. The problem is it doesn't fit into the wording at all. He said to me, why does he say, I will pay him? Means you go eat as much as you want and I'll pay the guy. It's not I'll pay the guy, I already paid the guy. So what should it say? And I'll figure out how much I owe him. Or maybe he owes me, because I gave him 1,000 shekel. Maybe I owe him 1,100. Or maybe he only ate 900 and he'll have to pay me back 100. But it's not pereya. I'll have to make a cheshbon. Okay, so says the Gemara, I relate ni tsuvani chashiv. You're right, tsuvani chashiv. You have to put the different lashon in. It's interesting because the Gemara says the same thing again on a different lashon. In other words, I'm learning from here that when the Gemara says tni, basically, I'm not going to say what I learned from here, but I'm going to just say that the Gemara says it twice in two different ways, so you can learn something from when the Gemara says tni. Here, check this out. I'm relate tni tzuva ani mechashiv. Fine, rewrite what the Brisa says. Stick in the word mechashiv. Ravashi Omar kigon shenotav anosav bayad. The guy, the employer, comes into the store and he does one of these. He grabs everything in sight, puts it in his wagon, and he says, okay, now eat from here. So that's why it's asur, because he did it on the spot. He did it. He's the one that it's not later on, it's right here. Rashi, the problem is, the lashon is off. It shouldn't say go out. You're here with me in the makolet. We're talking, we're looking at each other. What do you mean? Tsu'u, go out and eat. You should say, take from this cart. You have to rephrase the bride. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember so many times where sometimes the Gemara says, oh, tani this. Fine. So we're off in the lashon a little bit. Over here, there's two options. You can read it this way, he reads it that way. So I'm learning from here, tani, when the Gemara says tani, means, okay, he wasn't so medayik in his lashon. In a chanami, you want to put this word in, put that word, you want to put that word, but we understand what the pshat is. You see what it says here? Rav Nachman was sitting there, Ula and Avimi, and they were sitting next to Reb Chia bar Ami. So there's a Taisus here. He's in the front. Yeah, I'm almost finished. Worst comes to there's another flight afterwards also. The Yasvi coming by Elu. Schore Lishbar. The Yai Nesach Mau. How does she know? You gave her my number? Okay. Mi Amrino keeping the right to give me also. I Dilma call them. Oh, sorry. Yosef Nachma. So Tais says like this. I'm just going to say Tais about Peh because I got to run. But Tais says that what's going on here? Yosef Reb Chia bar Ami Gabayu. So usually Reb Chia bar Ami is the one that's going to say the Chiddush here. In all of Shas, when three people are sitting in front of one, so he says the Chiddush. Over here, he's not the one saying the Chiddush. It's Reb Nachman saying the Chiddush. I just love this Tais. Tais says, you know what? This is a continuation of Mesechus Ksubas. Tais did Yosef Reb Chia. The story started in Ksubas. Over there, Reb Chia said his Chiddush. And then afterwards, Reb Nachman continued his Chiddush in Mesechus Avodah Zarah. So what's the question? Should I stop here? No, let's just say it. Favos nicht. Says the Gemara. Here's the. I'm going to show this, and while I show it, Remy, help. These buttons. Okay. He hires a guy to break up Avodah Zarah barrels. That's what he does. Takes the yeshiva guy in Ben Zmanim. Here, take this axe, break this up. I'll pay you $1,000. So the Gemara Shaila is like this: the yeshiva guy, the more barrels are, the better it is. He makes more money. So he wants Avodah Zarah. Wanting Avodah Zarah is not good. So he's breaking up Avodah Zarah. Mamish for the last minute. Oh, you're setting a record. Psst, what's your name? Moshe Ringo. Shalom Aleichem. We got to do one more little sivuv here before I run into the taxi. Or into the whatever it is. Here we go. What a nice oilum. Givaldik. Moshe, you're not in it. Oh, Tazoi. With the pool, with the whole thing in the background.
Nice back.
It's unbelievable.
Next fight, we'll do tomorrow now.
What?
We can do tomorrow.
I think I just dropped the camera. Who knows, but it's fine. Did I ruin it? Okay. We're finishing up here. Givaldik. So, another minute. Also, he's trying to break up the Zarah. It's great. Or let him continue breaking it. It's Givaldik stuff. Rabboisai, have a wonderful day. We'll see you, Beis Hashem. Well, next year I'm still traveling tomorrow, but on Thursday I'll be in Eretz Yisrael, Beis Hashem, at least for the Hebrew shir. Seid gesund.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.